it's so stupid. You can't even expect it. Like, welcome to the fucking den, dude. You're the first contestant on the Offendolympics. I hope you're ready. I'm like, what even is this shit? What is the point of this anymore? What do you get off of doing this? What do you get? You get to be the fucking first one to virtue signal. I want to know who wins in the situation. Who gets to decide? Is like, oh man, this is the man who's leading the charge. This is the guy who's making the call. It's correct. He's doing it right. Because I'll tell you something, buddy. You're not that fucking important. You're also not helping anybody else. You're doing more harm than good, buddy. Does Jeremy approve of what I do? Do I have Jeremy's approval? No? Okay, I'll go back now. Unrelated to fact, as to prove Jeremy's intellect, the kwapow, I don't know how to fucking pronounce that, was originally a loose dress garment without shape made for Chinese women to clean the house and do domestic chores with. Including the extreme barriers marginalized people within that culture had to overcome those obstacles for it to simply be subject to American consumerism and to cater to white audience is parallel to colonial ideology. And he goes on to explain more later on how it's masculine behavior that was driving how women were back in the old day because, you know, fucking God knows history is a thing we should study and maybe learn from. See, if you were so fucking proud of your culture, you would embrace it. God forbid, you know, you embrace the bad parts of culture too because, you know, that's how people grow and become, you know, better fucking human beings. We're gonna have us a little history lesson. And that history lesson is targeted harassment. Because apparently Jeremy doesn't understand how to pick and choose the correct targets. I want there to be something very clear here, Jeremy, is that nobody owes you fuck all. Nobody owes you respect to your culture. Nobody owes me respect to my privilege, according to you. Because you'd rather put all people inside this little box here. You'd rather say that, well, we're special. We need to be treated like special little snowflakes because we can't bother to deal with the fact that maybe we're normal. Maybe we're not marginalized anymore. Maybe we're part of this thing called the human collective. Maybe we're all people. Maybe we all have this thing called lives and we can fucking live them however we want. And the fact that you think you can harass somebody, take hundreds of thousands of people on Twitter and make them attack somebody, that's the key here, attacking them. Because here's the difference. You targeting somebody to harass them makes you worse than anything more offensive than any person can do towards your culture. I'm just trying to get my thoughts composed because I'm just so fucking livid. The fact that we have the Offendolympics in 2016 to 2018 still going on, it fucking blows me away and it's making my blood boil. Because the reality is that these people who do these things that people then criticize, guess what? They're the healing aids that is cultural appropriation. Like H3H3 making a joke about cutting his dick off is good for society. This girl wearing a prom dress, which has a history of culture involved in it, is good in history. It's good for healing the divides that are created right now. Because you got fucks like Jeremy who think that telling people they can't do things is better than being like, maybe we can all embrace being humans together. Do you not understand that things like this joke here was absolutely offset? But in the grand scheme of things is that is the purest moment of human innocence right there. Somebody's making a very, very bad joke. You're taking that person and saying, you're a hate-filled piece of shit. That kid probably never once in his mind thought that he was being directly racist. And if he is, well, guess what? Then I'm out of line here, but that's not the point right now. But let's assume that they didn't know this was racist. Let's assume that there was innocence there. They made an off-color joke, and people, rather than trying to educate and explain and talk about, say, go and target this person, go and harass them, go and ruin their life, instead of trying to educate them. To all the members of the Offendolympics, let's get something clear here. Offensive is good. How many years did it take before we could make jokes about things? How did it become a thing where joking is now bad. Because jokes are meant to be healing to society. Jokes are meant to be a great divider, but also a great unifier. We divide said person from the joke to then make them a part of our culture, to make them a part of our society. People joke about me being fat. I make jokes about it, but then in turn it makes me more accepted. It gives me an in to people who have their own problems. Because everyone has a problem of some sort. And when you get virtue signaling fucks who have problems that they won't explain or ever talk about to other people, they're saying that I am above being accepted into your society. Because in my perfect definition of the world, then this is what we all believe in. And nobody wants to be a part of that world. Nobody wants to be involved in fucking Jeremy's world, where he gets to say that people being innocent and wearing dresses is wrong. And I am perplexed to think at every level, at every time I look at this fucking tweet, what did he think was gonna be won? What did Jeremy think was gonna be the actual outcome of this event? What, we would all stop talking about Chinese culture, Japanese culture, we'd all stop thinking about maybe the reality that is that the evolution of culture, the evolution of society, the evolution of people, that maybe we're better off now than we ever were. And instead of trying to block off any parts of our memory, we maybe embrace our cultures, all the cultures out there in the world. Because what you don't understand is when you tell people to fuck off, you get shits like this. Entitled privilege and knowing that they can actually do harm to people. I'm like, you single-handedly, by attacking people online, by attacking anyone in person, are trying to create subcultures of people who fucking hate you. You further divide racial gaps and you demean the integrity of what is known as acceptance and people. And I think it wholly disappointing, wholly upsetting, and just the worst thing possible that you are an adult. You are a person who's in the world and meant to be a mentor, a guidance to people younger than you or maybe older than you. You are supposed to be helping give people the knowledge, and instead you would rather separate them. Because guess what? We're not talking about important things anymore. We're talking about your fucking stupid ideology and destroying the values and integrity of other people because, you know, that's what's important right now. Instead of, I don't know, maybe real issues in the world, maybe real fucking problems that are going on. No, you gotta be the torch carrier. You gotta be the person saying, look at me, I was the first to bring up cultural appropriation. Look at me. Because history's gotta remember you, buddy. History's gotta know who the fuck you were. Attacking what is probably some 16-year-old and what she fucking wore. You know, people dying in the streets every day, not important. You know, maybe real racial problems happening on school campuses today, that's not a problem. You know, actual Nazis still existing in this day and age, not a problem. No, your shitty little opinion is the problem. And we need to stop everything we're doing and talk about it. We need to stop the whole fucking planet to bring up your little cultural problem. Because you can't embrace the truth that is that we are all in an evolution of society. We are a changing culture and we are going to accept and love everyone. But you would rather split that love and turn it into hate. So guess what, Jeremy? You win. You win the internet for the day. You win being the little shitbag that is what is known as a problem. Because everyone's gonna stop focusing on real problems and everybody's gonna make videos on you. Everyone's gonna talk about you. There will probably be a news story about your dress problem. And we're gonna all listen to you while real problems continue to exist and you further racial divides between people because your shitty little opinion. Oh, I didn't see you there, Jeremy. You know, unlike all the people who are gonna make videos and talk about you and have conversations about how stupid you are online, I'd like to make an offer for you. Come on my show. Come and talk to me. Maybe we can try to figure out where did you come up with this stupid idea in your head. Because I'm gonna help you realize something that maybe when you fight against adults, we're gonna actually come at you with facts and real logic. So I'm gonna follow you on Twitter. My DMs will be nice and open for you. So if you wanna come on my platform and we will have a civil discussion or debate, I welcome it. Because I'd like to see where maybe you're coming from in this argument, but in reality, I don't think you're gonna do it. I think you're too scared to do it because if you're gonna fight an adult, that's not as easy to target as a child. So